What's up, guys? This is Jay from COI, and I want to talk a little bit about impeachment. I know, and it's gonna get bad because I'm already planning. There's gonna be at least one or two more episodes this week where I've got to talk about this. Um, I think the idea of impeachment has really lost its vigor. It doesn't mean what it once was, and partially because it doesn't mean the jail time. It doesn't mean the prison time. It just means, hey, we don't want you as our president because you have done things that are unlawful. So does that mean that Trump can't run? No, he can still run. Does it mean that Trump has to leave his presidency? No, he can still stay as president. It really is just like it's like a yellow card in soccer. Like, oh yeah, well, the guy's kind of a problem. He can still play, but he's a problem. You know, and the thing is as this hearing is going on, like today, we learned about the Steele dossier. And some of us have known quite a bit about it, and that's why many of us have said that Hillary's a crook, that Hillary ran the DNC when she shouldn't. She controlled the primaries and who won. It should have been Bernie that won, not Hillary. She had communication with everyone and anyone who could help her get ahead in not only the election. We just found out a few days ago that George Natter um, and many people from her campaign are, I shouldn't say her campaign, but many people who side with her are in trouble for uh, donation fraud. I mean, you can't you can't go about it and say she's not guilty. That Hillary should not be, and the Clintons in general, not be arrested for the acts that they've committed as well. But the thing is the Republicans are going to be pushing this. And the cloudiness of the Steele dossier is one of those things that definitely needs to be looked at. I mean, who funded it? Well, you kind of track it all back and, oh, basically Hillary funded it. Oh, well, as everyone found out today, was there the proper representation for the Steele dossier? No, not really. It looked like it just got pushed through. So you mean all this time people have been saying that Trump was working with Russia to spy on our politicians is actually Hillary who was working with a foreign country to spy on Trump. Yeah, 100%. It was all projection. But so was Trump. And that's the thing. We can't forget that because Hillary is guilty of this, that doesn't mean that Trump is not. They're both guilty of it. And we have to keep that standard because here's the thing when you're on the left, you're going to say, you're going to either ignore or you're going to walk away and say, well, Hillary did this because of that, and this was fine, and that was fine. Excuse, excuse, excuse. Or it's fake news, it's not true. But those same excuses you won't make for Trump. And vice versa, by the way. They will say, lock her up. Hillary's guilty. The Steele dossier. Look at the Podesta group. By the way, you should do all of that stuff. But yet they won't look at Trump. They put blinders on when it comes to him. The reality is they're both guilty. There is many of our politicians who are incredibly guilty of these kind of acts. Both campaigns, by the way, have been fined and arrests have been made throughout the last couple years because of the fraud that both campaigns have committed. That should just give you an idea how corrupt Clinton and Trump are. I remember the episode of South Park where it was like douchebag versus turd sandwich. That is so what happened. And I don't care what side you're on, but you have to set a standard and keep that standard for whoever it is, not just your team. And you want to look into some really weird stuff, look up George Natter. George Natter, who was deeply involved in the Hillary campaign. In fact, he's one of the people who's getting in trouble for funneling money, basically taking money for her campaign that he shouldn't have been taking, and it's pretty convoluted. But you can look it up. But here's the important thing to look up: George Natter was arrested for child pornography. He could do like 50 to 60 years for child porn. But Mueller kind of let it slide as long as he testified against Trump. He was a witness, I should say. Sorry, not testified. A witness in the Mueller report. Yeah, you can't tell me that's not fucked up. Excuse my language, but you can't look at all of that and say, no, 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 no. It's all Trump. Trump's bad. We get rid of Trump. We fix the government. That's not going to happen. And it's just like we get rid of Hillary. We fix the government. It's not going to happen that way. Even if we get Bernie in, or Tulsi Gabbard, or one of those real Yang's almost a perfect one because he has no ties to any of us. But if we get someone like Yang in, and I still say Bernie because of how devastatingly actually poor he is as far as someone who's been in government for that long. But you get one of those guys in, that still doesn't fix it. This is deep corruption that has been rooted incredibly deep into the soul of DC and the soul of our government. It has to be exercised out, and that's going to take decades. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be one guy, one woman. They're going to fix it. It's going to take a lot of work, but the biggest part, the hardest thing to do is on us. And we've got to continue to set a standard of what we deem acceptable and keep that across the board. That same standard for Republicans and Democrats. Anyway, I just thought before we continue on, because I know there's going to be a lot of impeachment talk this week, I wanted to make this video so you can kind of go in with that mindset heading into this crazy week of impeachment. Anyway, thanks a lot for listening, guys. Have a great evening.